What are you doing?
Waiting for you. I was stretching.
That's it?
Rolling.
Why are you looking at me and not the camera?
Because I'm talking to you. And I don't like looking at the camera.
What's going on, guys? Bringing you the second bench workout of the week. A little bit of close grip action. Like I've stated before, you know, close grip, building up my triceps, building up my lockout is the main emphasis of this training cycle and my last training cycle. And I figure if I can build it up evenly, typically I have a tendency to have my left arm lag a little bit. So the main focus of these days is just to move pretty good weight for 3 to 5 repetitions for 2 to 5 sets, depending on how the day is and what the intent is. If it's a more volume day, speedy day, then it'll be more of the 5 sets. If it's a heavier day, it'll be more in the 2 sets. You know, you always want to take into account volume and intensity. If you try to push intensity and volume too high at the same time, that's when injuries happen, that's when overtraining happens. And you know, today is just building up a weakness day, so it's an accessory day to my main movement, which is Saturday, which are my heavier pause days. So I don't want to do too much to take away from those days. You know, remember on your accessory days, on your build-up days, you're just trying to build your weaknesses, right? So if you're doing too heavy, too much work, it's going to take away from your main movement, and you're not really building anymore, you're testing. And we don't want to do that on these type of days. And you know, the only day you really want to test is the meet day anyways. So everything I'm focused on here is just really building up my triceps to build up my lockout, and then also making sure that they're smooth presses. Typically my left arm tends to lag a little bit, so if I can keep my right and left arm pressing at the same time, then that's going to help alleviate a lot of my lockout issues. So that's the main goal, that's the main emphasis of these days, is to really focus on smooth, even lockouts, and then focusing on building up my triceps, keeping everything closer grip, and just focusing on smashing triceps, anterior delts, which will help build up my lockout. Right? Anytime you have a weakness, the main goal should be to build it. You know, it's not to test it, it's not to lift super heavy, but it's just to get good clean repetitions in. That's going to build stronger, bigger muscles over time, and that's kind of the goal of building up any weakness. You know, so you want to make sure that you differentiate between those days of competition movements where you're just trying to move heavier weight, and accessory days where you're trying to build up on your weaknesses. You know, if you can do that, that'll help kind of keep everything in line as far as intensity and volume goes, right? You have your higher intensity days, and then you can do your higher volume days, and you just kind of rotate those, undulate those throughout the week or throughout the training cycle, depending on how your training's going and what your goals are. So always keep that in mind whenever you're trying to focus in on what exercises you should do and how you should perform them. Think about what you have coming up the following week, what you have coming up the following day, and what you did before.
Do you have anything to say about your performance today?
I am happy with my performance today.
What does that mean?
I front squatted the most I've ever front squatted before.
How much? 1,000 pounds?
1,001.
That's a lot.
No, just 180 for 2.
Oh. I know guys that can curl that.
Huh.
Interesting. Interesting.
What about your performance? You took forever.
My performance was perfection as usual. I took forever because people kept interrupting me because I'm so popular and they want to talk to me. So I have to appease my fans and supporters at all times. The workout went great. I just did some close grip work today. Worked up to 380 pounds for final set of 5, and then put the slingshot on and Worked up to 425 pounds for my top set there, 5 reps, and everything's feeling really good. Excited to do some heavy benching on Saturday with Adrian, and we'll just see how everything progresses week by week, but right now everything's feeling great. How do you like that recap?
Sounds good, Mr. Popular.
Are you Mrs. Popular then?
Not yet. Working on it.
How do you work on it? Booty pics and titty pics?
Maybe.
Is that the plan?
Maybe. It's my secret plan.